So Chapter 1 was just announced to be returning. Now this news has been out for about a week now, which means everybody watching this video should already know about the time machine, the OG guns, and the return of the black hole event. I mean, this is all great, right? We get the OG guns, get to re-experience old live events, and most importantly, get to head home to the Chapter 1 map. But what if I told you there are many issues with this? So let's not waste any more time. Starting with the most boring one. I'll get through this quick, don't worry. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is a good 70% of the reason you're hyped for the OG map to come back. That's when you and the boys used to hop on to try to get a dub. You probably remember landing Pleasant Park and running away from the sweaty John Wick skin. But I guarantee you, when the old squad hops on for your very first game on the old map, you'll get absolutely clobbered by some silver superhero skin using Star Wand. Now I am going to stop myself from going on a rant about how competitive got way too sweaty, so all I'm going to say is competitive should have peaked at Chapter Season 2. Okay? We did not need to get any better than that. Anyways, nostalgia plays a massive role in why you're excited to have the OG map back. Just don't be mad when you die to some sweaty 9-year-old who needs to touch some damn grass. Okay, that's it. I've gotten the topic that everybody's talked about out of the way. Although topic number 2, on the other hand, has only really been briefly mentioned by most people, and I feel like it should be addressed more often. Zero build. If Epic wants to ensure that OG players will return, and will return for the entire season, they're gonna have to make sure the map is zero build friendly. Since by my guess, OGs won't want to deal with the sweats of build mode. The only issue is, the Chapter 1 map is not zero build friendly. I mean, look at the size of those hills. How am I supposed to get up that? Not only that, but there are also many open areas that you will need building to survive in. Now, the most obvious way of fixing this to me is throwing parts of the Chapter 4 map in places that are too open. Now, I'm very aware that these changes could ruin the authenticity of the OG map, but before you get upset, let me remind you that this is Chapter 4 Season 5 and not Chapter 1 Season 5. So don't be mad when we don't get the full Chapter 1 map, because we won't. From what we know, Fortnite seems like they're going to be able to handle making the Chapter 1 map zero friendly, but just in case, Fortnite's making the season only a month long, which is probably for zero build players if this doesn't work out. Now while editing this part of the video, I realized there's some other ways you could fix this. You could add the grappler back since that was introduced in Season 5, and that would be a great way to traverse those massive hills. Not only that, but you could return like porta forts and porta bunkers. Along with that, you could probably make a new version of the porta fort, like a porta ramp. I don't know, you can make like a ramp like this. Yep, that's a good image. I made that. Yep, Yep, that's a good idea. Anyways, back to the video. Now on to the final issue with bringing the map back. Overhype. This one's mostly the community's fault, but it's also the creators. Now I'm talking the big creators like CypherPK, Courage, Nick30, Typical Gamer, all those guys. Because these guys are the big Fortnite creators. Anything they say is stated as fact in the Fortnite community. This means when you say that the OG map is returning in its entirety when it might not is concerning. What you're doing is getting the community hyped up to then be disappointed. A good example of the community overhyping things actually relates a lot to the video. Creative 2.0 and the return of the OG map. When this launched, everyone was freaking out, saying how we were going home and all that stuff. Then there were some memory issues since Creative 2.0 wasn't as powerful as we thought. But after all those days waiting, it finally released, and it was ass. This isn't the map creator's fault though. You should pin the blame on the surprisingly lame launch of Creative 2.0, but I'll save that for another video. Point is, the Fortnite community hyped this up like Chapter 1 was back, and they really should have limited their expectations. Heading back to the present, the main argument I see when talking about the return of the Chapter 1 map is it's made by Epic. Now that may be true, but what if it doesn't have OG graphics? Or what if your favorite POI isn't there? Or what about your favorite gun? The point I'm trying to make here is limit your expectations. We always hear some news from the big creators, then overhype it, and then finally get disappointed. So with all those issues concluded, just limit your expectations for Season 5, because it might not be exactly what you wanted.